Hello everyone, I'm Laura, and welcome back to another Sketchbook Diaries video, and this is week 2 of the challenge. If you're new here, Sketchbook Diaries is a series where I document my sketchbook practice throughout the week. I decided to challenge myself to document it so that I could go back to a routine of using my sketchbooks. I sort of evaluated what I wanted to improve, what things I wanted to take away from the challenge. I am an artist who loves portraiture, so I decided to really focus on this, mostly because my pieces, my paintings, are also usually very focused on this. I love painting beautiful ladies, so this will mostly be female portraits, but some handsome gentlemen as well. This week, I wanted to go back to doing some sketches, slowly and in short sessions, and maybe attempt a more rendered sketch, or at least as rendered as I'm comfortable to in a sketchbook. There's a bit of a theme going on though, and it started back in spring when I started the Ophelia piece. I've been quite inspired by mythical entities and overall fantasy characters. I've been painting and drawing nymphs and naiads and fairies, and lately I've had the thought of painting the ladies from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I haven't read the books yet, so I'm taking inspiration from the movies. So today I'm sketching and painting the lovely Arwen und Damiel. I picked a reference picture from the movies, and for some reason I keep associating Arwen with soft lilacs and deep blue tones, so my thoughts were to make a few sketches and a color study that I could then use as a reference for a larger piece. Now, the first session was really just about sketching. If you saw the previous episode, you know my thoughts about sketching on this paper. It's very rough, and the texture makes the sketching process a bit less pleasing. I tried not to think too much about it, just because I want to use up the last pages of this book. And I also didn't want to have sketches for this idea just spread out throughout sketchbooks. For this first sketch, I picked up my Colorace Prismacolor pencils. I got them last year, and I haven't been using them too much lately, so I hope to try them out again. I think the reason I don't use these pencils more often is because they don't necessarily feel smooth on the paper. Not this paper specifically, but any paper. They feel a bit stiff instead. I guess I'm a bit spoiled with the Blackwing pencils. Those are expensive, but boy are they nice to work with. But I do want to give the Colorace pencils a good try. I struggle with some colors like the greens and the yellows, not my favorites, but I like the blues and the purples, which is what I used for this first Arwen sketch. It went really well, actually. I like the proportions, the sadness I was able to express in her face. I was not really trying to make it too detailed or finished, you could say, but I wanted the proportions to look right. And I think the sketches also have a likeness to Liv Tyler, so that's good. For the last sketch though, I decided not to record it, simply because every time I try to record, the sketches wouldn't turn out the way I wanted them, or I just felt too pressured and wouldn't do well. So I just sat down, put on some music, and try to be as relaxed as possible without the pressure of filming. And it worked out. I think sometimes the camera just makes me feel like there's someone peeking over my shoulder while working. So this last sketch, I wanted to paint it to a more finished state. I picked up the White Nights watercolors palette again, and I'm also using the same brushes from the last video, the ones I got off of Temu. These are actually the Giorgione brand, I believe, and they come with a little leather pouch and an assortment of different sizes and types. The ones I'm using here are 2 quill brushes, which are my favorite type of brush, a round detail brush, and also a larger flat brush for the bigger washes. These are surprisingly good brushes considering where I bought them, and they were also around 60 euros, I think, so pretty cheap for the amount of brushes I got. They hold water and paint really well. They never seem to lose their shape either, and they're very smooth to paint with. So I actually really love these brushes for watercolors. There are a few that I haven't used yet, but I'm curious to try them because the shape is very different from what I usually use. The painting went along really well. I used tones I love working with. I had been craving to work with blue pigments again, especially colors like indigo and Payne's gray. My last painting was all about greens and pinks, so I want to work with blues and dark grays again. My favorite convenience color is definitely Payne's gray. I love the granulation, the way the color sort of disperses into other hues, but blue is also my favorite pigment to work with, so this little painting was really fun and satisfying to work on. These will also be used as a reference sketches for a bigger piece, like I said. I'm thinking of doing a smaller size painting of Arwen, but I do want to do some more studies for the other pieces I have in mind, one with Galadriel and one with Arwen. Anyway, I will log off now. Thank you so much for watching and staying until the end, if you did. If you liked this video, please consider leaving a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot. And if you'd like to help the channel further, you can also check my Ko-fi account to make a donation. I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.